Okay, good morning, and it's delightful to be with you here at the All Digital Weeks conference. I'm really happy to be here to explain one or two of the insights we've got from the KiNESIS project and how digital solutions are revolutionizing the depopulated and shrinking rural areas here in Spain. So I'm just going to share my screen with you. And what we see is that the conference paper that I'm going to give is called Trends in Digital Solutions for Shrinking Areas. It's in no sense meant to be comprehensive. What it is just an overview of some of the interesting, exciting, and really quite innovative solutions that the digital transformation is bringing about in our own local context in Spain and in Navarra in particular, but also in some of the surrounding areas. So, as you probably know, Navarra is a beautiful area. We have mountains, we have villages. Our villages are full of life, tradition, festivals, employment, many, many different kind of gastronomic traditions. And also, of course, we have the problem of depopulation. So what is it going to be like in 20 years' time, in 30 years' time? What does the future bring for us? So, with a view to looking at this, we were looking at the statistics. We find that in Navarra, for example, our area of Spain, depopulation is already setting in the mountain areas. Only the lower areas, the green ones down by the River Ebro, are actually not suffering from depopulation, but they have many other problems, particularly kind of repopulation process that's going on. In Spain as a whole, depopulation is a massive problem. You can see that nearly all the population is moving towards Madrid and a few cities in the south, and then to Barcelona. In Europe also, although not to such a degree as Spain, but in Italy, Greece, Eastern Europe, depopulation is a big problem, and also in Scandinavia. And then our project, the KiNESIS project, is intended to try to find innovative solutions to these issues, particularly by harnessing the strength and the imagination of young people and taking them out into the village environment so that they can find real solutions to real problems. We have over 30 associate partners, and we're working now in various countries, including the Netherlands, Germany, Estonia, and then working very intensely, I have to say, in Italy and Spain. So our local team is this. My name is Ruth Breeze. I'm the coordinator here. But a lot of my colleagues and many people from the local villages are participating. What are we doing? We're bringing young people close to the rural world. And we're promoting innovation in the areas that are at risk of depopulation. We're trying to promote creativity. We're trying to promote entrepreneurship. We're doing living labs so that people can exchange good practices and come up with new ideas. With our students, we're finding new ways of learning, so problem-based learning and challenge-based learning. And we're facilitating knowledge exchange on a local and a global level. And in our model of social innovation, we believe that it's very, very important to involve the local people in our decisions and our creative processes. So on the left here, you see a more traditional view of social innovation. On the right, what you see is our particular view in which citizens are always involved from the very first moment. And when we talk to companies, we talk to public institutions, to academia, we're always involving citizens in all those discussions. So some of the things we've been finding here in Spain, one of the interesting things is that digital resources are very much now being used for communication, and particularly for alliances to build expertise in which you can actually share information, good practices, ideas, strategies, ways of putting things into practice between different villages. Each one of these is a link, and it will take you through to some interesting examples about how those things have been done. So building alliances between villages. So for example, the first one is welcoming villages, and there's a set of villages here which link up saying that they hope to be welcoming to new people, and they share strategies about how they can actually greet new people, help them set up businesses, help them find accommodation, help them look after the old people, the young people, and somehow integrate them into the life of the village. But not just on their own, they're actually sharing the strategies with other villages that have done that before. Communication. So it's very, very important for small communities to have websites and to have social media so that they can communicate not just official top-down information from the town council to the citizens, but so that citizens can also ask questions, find things out, get hold of the information that they need. And there's a kind of two-way flow of information. Companies also need to be very connected up with the town council and also with the citizens so that they can find employees or that they can find customers or that they can actually ask local people to help them with promotion. And then transport solutions. One of the really big problems that villages have in Spain is that the public transport system is really non-functional in many contexts. There just really isn't any public transport. Or where there is, it's tied down to very, very restrictive practices. And so a bus may stop in a village, but people are not allowed to get on. So to get around these incredible problems that come up, local villages have been setting up apps so that people can contact with other people in their immediate area and offer to share a journey or offer or ask whether anybody's going somewhere. So we imagine that you're in a small village and you need to go to the doctor tomorrow. You can actually go into the app and find out who's driving into town the next day so that someone will take you. Because the people also have a very collaborative attitude, this seems to be working pretty well, and it's a very good solution because it's localized, people know each other, and at the same time it means that they don't have to be frightened of asking someone. They don't have to be embarrassed. They just go in there and they can ask. And if someone doesn't want to take them, they don't have to. But it's a great solution. Employment. Well, one of the first problems that we meet when we come to the villages here is that people will say, well, actually, there aren't any young people here, so we won't be able to find anyone to work in our company. So there are actually several NGOs and groups and websites in Spain where villages can advertise to get new residents. So this one, for example, Vente Vivir un Pueblo, is a website where you can upload your village, explain its attractions, and people can look there and think, well, that could be the place for me. Teleworking is another way of looking at this problem. So in some cases, people say, I'd love to live in the Pyrenees. It's so beautiful. But actually, there's no work up there, except for maybe a little bit of tourism, which I could do in my spare time. So there are some other organizations, like this one called Rural, which actually works in the idea that you have to take people to the mountains, let them see how it is. What's it like to be a teleworker? How does the infrastructure work up there, and how can we actually recreate our life in that kind of environment? And so Rural, they will hire a village, rent a village house for a month and bring people from different parts of Spain to work there to experience this rural lifestyle and to see how easy it is to do teleworking. And then, of course, promoting products is a classic use of websites. But what you have to do is get together the different groups of people that are working in a particular sector in a particular area. So here, for example, we have a very famous rosé wine. And so that wine, made from traditional grapes, tends to be promoted in a rather piecemeal kind of way. The people who produce that wine actually got together and decided to build their own association and to promote it together in a group way so that they could actually gain strength in numbers. And that meant that they could also invest in having a good website to promote their products. So this is also another useful way that the digitalization is helping people in these small areas where normally they're not very connected up. And then finally, I think we all think about heritage and tourism. We've actually looked at a lot of different campaigns and NGOs and organizations that have been using digital resources to promote local heritage, tourism, visits. So here we just have a few. The first one is more like a campaign, but it's also including a lot of different ways in which people can sign up in order to help a village. So one thing you can do is you can actually sponsor an olive tree and it becomes your tree. So you can actually go online and do this. Another way is just simply to give out plenty of information about tourism. So for example, in the village of Pitero, where the monastery offers theatrical visits and many different festivals to do with local food, local customs, also the typical village festivals that we have in Spain when it's a Saint's Day or a particular event in the village history. Websites are very, very important in promoting that. And the great thing, as you will see in this website, is the way that it uses video to make it come alive to anybody who's looking at the site. And then finally, you can also promote your village through virtual visits. Now, you might say that virtual visits are not very useful. You actually want people to come to the village, but it's a way in which you can introduce people to what you have. And then we hope that they will actually go out there and experience it firsthand. So these are just 9 of the different things we've seen. These are some of the students who were participating in our projects last year. Also our conference that we held on sustainable tourism, and some of the students who went to Italy. This year, we've already welcomed 9 different students here in Navarra, and they're all working on projects of this kind. Many of them have a digital aspect to them. As I said, a lot of our projects have been uploaded as videos to our website. So if you go to our YouTube channel, you'll see the videos about each of the students who came to Navarra. And we also have a series of 12 seminars on our website, each of which deals with a particular aspect of depopulation and shrinkage. Many of them are actually talking about digital solutions. Everything else about our project can be found on the project website. I hope you enjoyed our talk, and thank you very, very much for listening. Thank you.